Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's daughter has just captured a moment that many are calling one of the most emotionally powerful glimpses into the Sussex family's private life in years, and it all unfolded in the most unexpected, tender way. A simple video, filmed by a child, has reignited global fascination with the couple's love story and reminded the world that beyond royal titles, public battles, and endless headlines, there is a family choosing joy, intimacy, and memory over spectacle. The video shows Meghan Markle and Prince Harry dancing together outdoors, completely unguarded, relaxed, and smiling in a way that feels deeply personal rather than performative. There is no sense of urgency, no awareness of an audience, no attempt to impress. It's just two people who have shared nearly a decade of intense scrutiny, choosing to be present in a quiet moment. What elevated this clip from sweet to extraordinary was the revelation that it was filmed by their daughter, Princess Lilibet. Not a professional camera crew, not a friend, not a social media manager, but their own child, standing behind the lens, capturing their parents as she sees them. That detail alone changed how the world received the video. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Meghan and Harry anymore. It became about perspective. It became about family. It became about legacy. A young girl filming her parents dancing, preserving a memory without understanding the historical weight attached to their names, their past, or the choices they've made. And for many viewers, that innocence is what made the moment feel so profound. There was no agenda in her filming, no awareness of public opinion, no understanding of how controversial or scrutinized her parents' lives have been. There was only a child watching two people she loves and deciding that this moment was worth saving. The timing of the video added another layer of meaning. Meghan shared it with a caption that subtly referenced 2016, the year her relationship with Harry began. For longtime followers of their story, that year is almost mythical. It was the time of secret dates, long-distance calls, and private trips away from the spotlight. Before royal protocols, before global debates, before interviews that shook institutions. Back then, Meghan was an actress living her own life, and Harry was a prince desperate for something real, something grounded, something that didn't come with conditions. The video seemed to echo that era, not as nostalgia, but as proof that the core of their relationship has survived everything that came after. Watching the clip, there's a softness that feels intentional. Meghan and Harry aren't trying to prove anything. They aren't addressing critics or responding to controversy. They're not speaking at all. They're simply existing together in a way that feels almost defiant in its calm. After years of being accused of oversharing or seeking attention, this moment did the opposite. It said very little, yet communicated everything. It suggested stability. It suggested peace. It suggested a couple that has weathered storms and come out the other side still choosing each other. Public reaction was swift and deeply emotional. Supporters praised the video as authentic and refreshing, calling it one of the most human moments the couple has ever shared. Many commented on how rare it is to see Meghan and Harry in such a candid state, especially given how protective they are of their children. Others focused on the symbolism of Lilibet being the one behind the camera, pointing out how powerful it is that the youngest member of the family was the storyteller in this moment. Some fans even described the clip as healing, saying they reminded them why they supported the couple in the first place. Parents around the world related instantly. There's something universally familiar about being filmed by your child, those slightly shaky angles, the occasional giggle from behind the camera, and the feeling that the moment matters because your child bought it did. For many viewers, that familiarity bridged the gap between royal narratives and everyday life. It stripped away the grandeur and left something simple and recognizable, a family memory in the making. It didn't matter that the parents in the video were famous. In that moment, they were just mom and dad. Of course, not everyone received the video warmly. Critics questioned whether it was truly spontaneous or subtly curated. Some argued that nothing involving the Sussexes can ever be entirely accidental. But even among skeptics, there was an acknowledgement that the emotional impact was real. The discussion quickly shifted from intent to effect, and the effect was undeniable. The video softened public perception, if only for a moment, and reminded people that regardless of opinion, this is a family raising children far away from palace walls, trying to give them something different from what previous generations experienced. The role of Princess Lilibet in this moment cannot be overstated. Born in California, far from the traditions that defined her parents' early lives, she represents a new chapter entirely. She is growing up without daily royal formality, without constant public exposure, and without the rigid expectations that once weighed heavily on her father. And yet, her presence is deeply symbolic. Named after two women who shaped royal history in very different ways, she now stands as a bridge between the past and the future, between an old world of monarchy and a new world of choice. The act of filming her parents dancing feels almost poetic. It's not about documentation for the public, it's about memory. One day, that video will matter more to her than it ever could to the internet. It will be a snapshot of her parents as they were, happy, connected, alive in the moment. It will be proof of how they looked at each other, how they laughed, how they moved together. And the fact that the world got to see a piece of that is what made the clip feel like a gift rather than a performance. For Meghan, this moment also felt like a quiet reclaiming of narrative. For years, her image has been shaped by others, by tabloids, commentators, critics, and even supporters projecting their own ideas onto her. She has been labeled many things, often without nuance. This video didn't explain or justify anything. It didn't ask for understanding. It simply showed her life as it is now, centered on love, family, and peace. In many ways, it echoed the storytelling style she once embraced before royal life, now matured and grounded by motherhood and experience. For Harry, the video aligned closely with everything he has said about protecting his children and creating a safer, more emotionally open environment for them. Having lived his own childhood under constant cameras, he has been vocal about wanting something different for his son and daughter. Seeing Lilibet hold the camera rather than being in front of it felt like a quiet confirmation of that promise. It showed a reversal of roles, where the child observes freely rather than being observed by the world. The setting of the video also mattered more than many initially realized. Open space, natural light, no visible luxury or excess, just movement and connection. It reinforced the idea that the Sussexes are intentionally building a life that prioritizes freedom over formality, a life where moments don't need permission or approval to exist, a life where joy doesn't have to be explained. This single clip also reopened broader conversations about how Meghan and Harry have evolved since stepping back from royal duties. Their early years outside the institution were loud, intense, and heavily scrutinized. Interviews, documentaries, legal battles, and public statements dominated headlines. In contrast, this phase feels quieter, more controlled, and more intentional. The video reflected that shift perfectly. It wasn't defensive, it wasn't explanatory, it was simply a window, briefly opened. What made this moment resonate so deeply is that it didn't feel like it was meant for us. It felt like something shared because it mattered personally, not strategically. And in a media landscape saturated with curated content and calculated visibility, that distinction matters more than ever. People are drawn to authenticity, especially when it appears without force. As days passed and reactions continued to pour in, the video remained a topic of conversation not because of controversy, but because of connection. People shared it not to debate, but to feel, to remember their own family moments, to reflect on how love changes over time but can remain recognizable at its core, how relationships evolve, mature, and deepen when protected rather than performed. In the end, this wasn't just a viral clip. It was a quiet statement. A reminder that behind public identities are private lives, and within those lives are moments that don't need explanation to be understood. A child filming her parents dancing, a couple still choosing each other after everything, a family shaping its own legacy one memory at a time. And perhaps that's why this video lingered in people's minds longer than most royal news ever does, because it wasn't about power, privilege, or position. It wasn't about conflict or controversy. It was about love, seen through the most honest lens of all, the eyes of a child. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.